Good morning, everyone. So after the show on Friday, after we did the weekend review, I opened up Twitter and I couldn't believe it. I absolutely could not believe it. They said Kevin Conroy was dead. Now, there's got to be some kind of this has got to be some kind of like mess up mistake. The guy's not that old. You've got more DC animated movies to make with this guy. He's not done as Batman. He can't be done as Batman. And no, it was true. He died at the age of 66 after a brief battle with cancer. Um, he played Batman longer than any other actor actress. Um, he played a live action version of him. You know what? I absolutely hate the CW, and I hate what they did to his character in in that stupid live action TV series. But at least he can say, well, he did live action too. He did a live action Bruce Wayne. So, good morning, Zero.
Good morning. Yeah. We're just like everybody. I'm just kind of sitting back, taking it all in. Yeah, it's never easy when you have your icons that date back all the way to your childhood that pass on, but in the grand scheme of things, his star was bright. His star burned brighter than any other Batman character out there. I love the Tim Burton films. I love Michael Keaton, but when you have a light that shines like Kevin Conroy and his personality and his portrayal of not just Batman but also Bruce Wayne, when they shine as bright as that, that leaves a major imprint on you, your soul, your heart, everything you love, and why I still love the Batman character to this day and the way he did it, because nobody could do it the way he did.
No, no, absolutely not. No one could do it the way he did. No, and I remember when the animated series started. Um, I was kind of aging out of cartoons. You get to the point
Mm,
where you're like, um, you know,
yeah.
you're too
It's,
old.
you feel like you're too old for that sort of thing. Yeah.
You're like, I'm
Yeah.
I'm getting older. I can't watch cartoons. Little
Yeah.
kids watch cartoons. I
Yeah.
still watched Batman.
Oh,
I
man.
never stopped watching Batman. I never stopped watching. I bugged my dad. I dragged my dad to go see Mask of the Phantasm in
Hmm.
theaters.
Yeah.
I can't believe I'm going to go see a damn movie in a damn animated movie in the theater. It's Batman. Okay, let's go.
All right, let's
And
do it.
yeah, it's Batman.
It's like,
It's
damn, make
Batman.
Batman cartoons for real. Yeah, it's funny you mention growing too old for cartoons, because I still watch a few to this day. But it's really not very many. But when you grew up in the time that I did, I was like you. I was kind of phasing out by then, but man, when the animated series, I don't remember what day it played here. It was like a afternoon, like 4 or 5 in the afternoon. So it was always my after school special, and I never missed an episode. But it's funny how you mention kind of growing too old for cartoons, because the animated series was, but either by intent or not, a lot more adult oriented than it had to be, and I think that's why I would still enjoy it to this day. I do still enjoy it to this day. I mean, several years ago, I went out and got the animated box set. I should have showed it or tweeted a picture or something like that. But yeah, I got it all. It's not on Blu-ray or anything fancy like that, but the box set is gorgeous, and that's still proudly on display.
I
In
got the
my
limited. I got the limited edition Blu-ray from Amazon, the one that comes
mm,
with the mini pops.
mm,
There's like four mini pops on the top of the the Blu-ray set, and it comes with like an extra art book and
Yeah.
some stills.
Yeah. So I mean, you know,
As
to my
soon as that, as soon as I heard about that, I was like, yeah,
oh hell yeah. Yeah.
it's mine.
Yeah. So to summarize to my point, you know, when I got that, I relaxed, sat back, and went through every single episode through all 4 seasons, front to back. It was a great trip down memory lane, and it introduced a lot of things that I appreciated more as an adult. And man, Kevin Conroy was a big part of that, if not the biggest part of that.
Him and Mark Hamill, man.
Oh
Him and
God,
Mark Hamill. You know what's really funny for anybody out there that knows about Arkham Origins? You know, you can say what you want about Mark Hamill and Mark Hamill's politics when the crew that was working on Batman Arkham Origins called Mark and said, "Hey, we want you. We want to get you back to be the Joker in Arkham Origins." He said was the first thing he said was, "Is Kevin doing it?"
hmm
And they said, "No, he's not going to be in this one." And Mark said, "Well, then I'm not doing it. Thanks
yeah.
for the opportunity."
Thanks, but no thanks.
And they made this big show about passing the torch, and this new guy came in, but the new guy was basically doing a copy of Hamill's Joker.
hmm
So he was doing like almost like an impersonation of Hamill's Joker. At
Yeah.
least he was trying to. I didn't even see this until like later. I knew that Mark Hamill wasn't going to be the Joker in this. But the fact that he was like, well, if Kevin's not doing it, I'm not doing
Yeah.
it, speaks volumes about where he was. And if you listen to some of Kevin's interviews, um, he always did that. Was Kevin doing it? That was his first question. Is Kevin going to be a part of this?
hmm
And it's like, okay, wait a minute. You never hear them in a movie without the other. So it's always Kevin and Mark in a Batman together. One is Batman, one is Troy Baker. Thank you, Joker voice. Um, it's always Kevin and Mark. If they're
Yeah.
in a movie, they're in a movie together, and that's
hmm
just like,
That's how it
damn,
was.
dude.
Yeah, that's how it should be. That's how it was supposed to be, you know. And yeah, we didn't even really mention the games at all, but you know, being able to experience Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill together in a game like Arkham Asylum Onward on your own time, you know, immersing yourself through your own accord, that just made it so much better. And the camaraderie and the chemistry between those two, God, that was a lasting tradition that would never be topped by anybody.
And Pat S says that he was the nicest guy you could ever meet at a con.
hmm
Man,
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I mean, really, what can you say? It's still just kind of surprising, you know, and in a way, and I know I don't mean this to sound greedy, but like Loki said at the start of the show, there was so much more he could have offered. And I think fans
dude.
in a yeah, I think fans in a small way would kind of feel just a little bit robbed of the things we'll never get to see. But again, I don't mean that to sound greedy at all.
I
That's
always
not my intention.
I always, you know what, anytime I heard about, oh, this new Batman movie's coming out from DC animated universe, a new Justice League, the first questions I'm asking is it Kevin Conroy?
Yeah.
Kevin Conroy, oh, Joker's going to be in it. Is it Mark Hamill?
hmm
That's the duo, and that's the
Yeah.
duo you want. And it's just,
It's a shame. It's really a shame.
we're never going to get that again.
No.
We're never ever going to get that again.
No, that's why I consider myself very fortunate to have grown up in the time where you were able to see this in person as it happened, you know. And those memories will last a lifetime because there's absolutely nothing that will take away from the legacy he's already laid down.
Psychodorf9 throws in a super chat. Thank you, brother. Says for how many was this man their Batman? I think almost everybody. If you asked anybody who watched the animated series,
The
anybody who
animated,
watched those
yeah.
movies,
I mean, Kevin Conroy was the animated series. There was nobody else. Nobody else. You know, I mean, if you want to, you can lump them in with the live action actors and stuff. To me, they're two different kind of planes trying to tell different stories and whatnot. You know, so I mean, but when it comes to voice talent, the character he put into it, just speaking into a microphone, and how animated he could be, like Mark Hamill was with the Joker, there's nobody else that came close.
that's right. No, that's absolutely right.
Yeah.
Colonizer Jeebus with a 2-month member super chat. He's been a member. I don't know why it says 2 months. He's been a member for 5 months. And Warrior of Midgard says, I'm drinking pain to like metrosexual Iron Man. And thank you. And thank you for that. And good morning, everybody. If I haven't said good morning this morning, it's a weird morning.
Yeah.
I
try. Yeah. I'm sorry we have to be, you know, kind of somber and whatnot, but you know, that's not our intention. We're still here to hang out with you guys and give some entertainment. We're just paying respects.
And good morning, Mark D with a C. How are you doing, my friend?
Unbeknownst to me, I actually threw on a Batman shirt last night, which I'm still wearing, and I didn't even put 2 and 2 together, but something just told me to do it. You can't see it, but it's there.
Gun Buddy says my nieces and nephews know Kevin Conroy is Batman.
Yeah, good for them. Yeah.
But I remember never aging out with the animated series. And I think that had a large part to do with Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill. Even though I didn't know it was Mark Hamill, for a while.
Yeah, it was still mind blowing to me when I found it. Because the funniest thing was it was quite a while ago now, but I was watching a a documentary on the character of Batman itself. I forget where it was from, but the narrator was actually Mark Hamill, and I didn't know that until the end credits. And I'm thinking, God, why does he sound so familiar? And then I watched the credits. I'm thinking, well, why would Mark Hamill be doing a Batman, you know, documentary or whatever? And then when I went and did my research, I'm thinking, wait, he was the Joker this whole time? Holy crap. And then to go on and find out that, you know, he was so literally animated in the studio when he recorded his lines. They animated Joker to do what Mark Hamill was doing. You know, not that this is about Mark Hamill, but it just goes to show you how great these guys are, and how great Kevin Conroy was. Because man, the voice, the personality, the swagger that he showed when you couldn't even see his face because he's just playing an animated character. God, man, nobody did it like him.
Good morning, you fat fuck.
There's our F-bomb for the day. One, maybe 2 or maybe 3.
No, probably just 1.
Yeah.
I won't say it like that again. Yeah, Arwen, they just had that spark.
Mm-hmm.
And it going, you know, going back and forth at each other. Going back and forth at each other. Well, dude, okay, so I had a program of shows I watched when I got home every day. And part of that was Batman. You know, you get home from school, you do your stuff. And part of that was Batman. And I wasn't watching, you know, Gummy Bears anymore.
Yeah.
Even if I can still remember the song, because no, I never did age out. There is no aging out. But I thought at the time as a teenager, I was going to age out, you know. So I can still sing you the damn Gummy Bears song.
Jeez.
Bouncing here and there and everywhere.
I remember when that was on TV. I did watch that quite a bit. Truth be told, I've got Chippendale Rescue Rangers on Blu-ray that I still have to go through, and I bought that just a few months ago. So, aging out, nah, no such thing. We have the benefit of being able to pick and choose what we don't want to age out with. So we have that going for us. But if you think you're aging out just because you feel you're under pressure to be too old for something, no, screw that.
Squatch. Yeah, they're dashing. They're daring. That's right.
Yeah.
Dean Krantz, I watched a video of Mark Hamill talking about being so proud of his role as Joker, but Cesar Romero will always be the best Joker. And Hamill knew it.
And nobody rocked a mustache like him. Which sadly the makeup suffered for because he refused to shave it off. But still, even so.
I'm sure Tim Daly was hit really hard too, because they worked really close together. So yeah, Nolan North and Tim Daly were the big Superman voice actors. So
yeah, it's still a shame.
So
yeah. Yeah, what can you say, really? I mean, geez.
You want your Batman back.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, not to sound greedy, we all go through those stages of, not necessarily the 5 stages, but if that's your thing, that's certainly your thing. So yeah, I think, like I said, I think we're all just being a little bit robbed, and not even speaking for Kevin Conroy, because he was not that old at all. So I mean, in the grand scheme of things, I think he got robbed of so much more life that he had left to live, and the gifts to his fans, because he certainly adored his fans too.
Someone just sent me a message that was like, play the Batman thing for Mike. If you guys want me to, I will. I wasn't gonna pull that out, but if you guys want me to, I will. 6 with $3 super sticker is a pair throwing hearts. Thank you so very much. 6 for the pair throwing hearts. It's very nice. Thank you. Yeah, fracking cancer, and it was short. It was just short battle. He wasn't fighting that long. So, and he did so much for so many people.
Yeah.
The donation to the charity. So we made a donation to a charity to get that video for Mike for his birthday, which was really cool. Absolutely cool. He knew then. He's known for over a year, so he knew when he did that, and it takes a strong person not just to fall into their shit and never get out after they find out something like that. Fortitude.
Yeah,
and he had it.
Fortitude,
had it.
Willpower, and class. Because it takes a certain kind of guy. If you get dealt with something like that, how easy would it be to just be like, oh, woe is me, and then you fade into a former shell of yourself, and he never did that, and that is really something to be admired.
And yes, he was. Project Storytime says in his youth he could have played a live action Batman. He was a built guy. Yes, he was.
Yeah.
Yes, he was. It's funny. What did I see? I saw something. Someone threw this thing out there. That are we all gonna abandon him because he came out of the closet? I don't think anybody gave a shit.
I certainly didn't. That it had nothing to do with it. Your personal life is totally you. That's got nothing to do. That takes away or adds nothing to the enjoyment of the material that people give to others.
You're talking about a guy that came up with Robin Williams and Kelsey Grammer. That's who he boarded with when he was doing acting classes. That's fucking amazing. What do you put on your resume? Oh, you knew? Oh yeah, we were cellmates back in Juilliard's version of Arkham Asylum. That's insane. Kelsey Grammer
And
and
Robin
Robin
Williams.
Williams.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Shit.
you talk about a good trinity that are just great at, well, you know, we've lost 2 out of 3 now, but yeah, you talk about a trinity that was just great at portraying so much character and emotion through simply just voice acting. God, that was amazing. You could handpick anything from their resume that they voiced on and say, "Yep, those guys, they just have it. They get it. They know how to do it."
Yeah, Project Storytime. I didn't even know he was gay until he passed away. Never cared.
Yeah. So
No one
that
cares.
yeah,
No one
no one
gives a
cares.
shit.
No one cares. And I think that's a great example of the person outshining any other, for lack of a better term, political agenda or anything that could be thrown out there. Nobody cared about that. They just cared about who he was, what he brought to the table, and everything he's left behind. Because certain things are better than an agenda. Not to get into that, but that just goes to show you.
Gun Bunny says, I ignore celebrities' personal lives unless they break the law.
Then it's all fun and
then
games.
then it's all on.
Then we all become
God.
vengeance. Initiate the barrage of hateful comments on their Twitter feed.
Let me see if I can load this. Talk.
Yeah. So, question for chat. Because if you're like me, you know Kevin Conroy primarily from Batman and all the voice work he did. Do you guys know of any other thing that you saw him in? Maybe a little bit under the radar.
Clerks.
And if so, yeah, there was that. Yeah, I'm sure his resume will stretch a lot farther than I imagine it to be. But geez. Yeah, it's still kind of a downer. It really is a downer. But did he really do 2 episodes of Cheers? God, I haven't seen that in years for Cheers and Tears for Fears and all that other stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I'd probably have to go back and rewatch what the hell was going on there. Mark the Infinitely Tired says he was in soap operas. I can see that. I could totally see that.
Yes, that's what he first started out doing was soap operas.
Yeah. I bet he was good at dramatic roles. Because he was certainly great at displaying it.
He even played a gay guy in one of them for like a year.
God, that's weird. Yeah, see, I'm still learning things. But yeah, I think it's Dr. Wayne. Yeah, I think it just makes you appreciate things just a little bit extra when something like that happens. And if you're like me, sometimes you learn to care about these things a little too late. Because then you go through that phase of self-regret thinking, man, I should have cared more when he was around. And then you kind of mentally go through your little checklist, like, oh, what could I do to make that better? Or what else am I not paying enough attention to? And then you just kind of go on with your life. Yeah. But
Project Storytime said I immediately recognized that voice, that guy hitting on Carla. He was in Tour of Duty. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'd totally forget what that was.
D. Krantz says, I do not care about an actor's sex life unless they expect me to celebrate it. I do not look at Kevin Rock or Montgomery Clift and say they were gay.
Yeah.
No one gives a shit.
No one cared.
So.
Did you want to play the birthday vid?
Yes, I'm going to play
All right.
Happy birthday, Mike. This is Batman calling you from Wayne Manor.
Can you hear that?
Oh, we can hear it.
Okay.
Speaking for myself.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
So freaking cool.
That's awesome.
Loki and all of Valhalla wanted me to send you this message to celebrate your birthday. So this is just for you. I am vengeance. I am the night. I am Batman.
Okay, now this is Kevin.
Happy birthday, Mike. All of Valhalla is celebrating your birthday. How awesome is that? And the reason they're celebrating you is because you are the hardest working person that they know. And even when so overwhelmed, you always manage to find the time to help so many people in your life. You live the Batman ethic. You should be so proud of yourself. Not just because of what you do, but because of who you are. It's in your DNA to be that kind of a giving man. And I think it's great that the people around you appreciate that and celebrate you for it. You know, the fun thing about doing this role, which I've been doing for 30 years, which is pretty crazy for an acting job. But, you know, Batman, the animated series became Batman and Robin, and then that became Batman Beyond, and then the Justice League, and then all the Arkham games. I mean, it just kept growing and growing. All the direct-to-video movies. It just snowballed because the artwork was so beautiful. The stories were so complicated. The characters were so great. They had such a big, talented casts. Huge symphony score. I mean, the amount of money they spent on these shows was amazing. And it shows, and it paid off. And it's still hot, you know? It's still acquiring new fans today. The audience is still growing 30 years later, which is pretty amazing. But aside from playing the character and all these wonderful actors I've gotten to work with, what's really been interesting about this experience for me has been the audience interaction, this conversation that I get to have. Because the Batman fans, I've discovered, are passionate about the character. I mean, it's an amazing connection people have with Batman. It's like a personal connection. There's a sense of intimacy there. It just doesn't exist for the other superheroes. It's not like that for Superman or Wonder Woman or The Flash. There's a personal connection that people have with Batman. And I think it's because of all the superheroes, he's the only one who's actually not a superhero. There's nothing supernatural about him. He can't fly, he can't see through walls. He's a man, he's a human being. He's like you and me. He's more like a detective. Some people call him the great detective. But not only is he human, he's a very flawed human. And he knows he's flawed. He's been beat up by life. But Mike, we're all flawed, aren't we? And we all get beat up by life. So it makes Batman that much more relatable because he's so much like us in a way. What distinguishes him is that no matter what life throws at him, no matter what crisis or challenge or failure, he never lets it defeat him. He never lets it make him angry or bitter or crush him. He takes the pain that life throws at him and he turns it around and he gives it back to the world as love. Because his whole mission is to leave the world better than he found it. And it's the nobility of that mission. That's what we admire so much about him. But that's something we can all aspire to because you don't have to have superpowers to want to give to your family, your community, to leave the world a better place. All you have to do is care enough to try. Care enough to want to, especially today with all the craziness going on around us. Because Mike, everybody faces challenges in their life. Everybody faces crisis and disappointment and failure at something at some time or another because we're human and we all stumble. But that's not what defines us. What defines us is how we get back up and how we learn from our mistakes and get back into life and contribute to the world. That's what defines you. But I tell you, when you face those challenges, those crises that life throws at you, you realize really quickly what's important. And it isn't the material stuff. That stuff can disappear in a heartbeat. It's the people in your life. It's the lives you touch and the people who touch your life. It's the love that you put out into the world. It's a friend like Loki who sees who you are and wants to celebrate you. That's what matters at the end of the day. So never stop believing in yourself, Mike, in your ability to affect the world in a positive way. And let me join all of Valhalla in saying, happy birthday, Mike. Remember, it's not what you are underneath. It's what you do that defines you. Take care.
God damn. I I want to say this right now. Kevin Conroy, in that span of a few minutes, just summarized everything that made him great. He just summarized everything about how we're feeling as of right now. That message spoke more than just his message to Mike. That spoke about himself, and that speaks to me. I know it speaks to Loki. It speaks to everybody out there. He just summarized everything about the wonderful legacy he left behind for us.
I need a second. Fuck.
It was absolutely wonderful. You know, and I know you can call it dark humor if you want, but Kevin Conroy could have used that for his own eulogy because nobody else probably could have said it better.
You know, I spent about 10 minutes. I got to talk to him for about 10 minutes. I got to talk to him a little longer than the video was. And just enough to tell him about Mike. And to let him know a little bit about him. It was really cool getting to talk to him. And I didn't know what to expect, you know. I really didn't. I was like, you know, wow, okay, so he like wants to talk to me. And I just told him a little bit about Mike and why I wanted to do this for him. And I don't know, maybe he, you know, is real picky about how he did this, and why. I don't know. It wasn't like, you know, a normal birthday thing, you know. It's not like, you know, some kid want a happy birthday video. This meant a lot, and I really wanted to do this because this is Mike's favorite character, and this was Mike's favorite voice actor for that character. So I don't know. I didn't know what to expect, and then I got that video, and I was just I could not believe what he said. I absolutely could not believe what he said. In the video he did, you guys just saw it.
I mean,
thank you, Mike. Seriously, thank you for like he said, for who you are.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's
the first thing that I found that really spoke to me about that whole thing, you know, after seeing it at full length again, for the first time in a while, the greatest thing aside from, you know, him defining his own legacy right there, the other major thing that really spoke to me about that whole thing was the fact that he just got it. He understood it. You know, like you said, it wasn't a simple birthday video. He took the time to engage Mike, engage you, engage anybody else that was watching it. He put the effort in there to make it worth something in your life, more than just oh, hey, cool, check this out, share. You know, it's truly something you can hold on to, and it can speak to you any day of the week. And that's the kind of guy he was, to put that effort in, you know. And he just gets it. He got everything from his source material, you know, the work that got put into the characters he played. He absorbed it all, and he portrayed that outwards into the entertainment that he gave everybody. And he truly, you know, that video should speak for itself. He truly cared about the audiences that he engaged with, and he clearly enjoyed it. So I mean, that video speaks for itself on so many different levels.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And he was so genuine. You know, I wish I'm not gonna go negative this morning at all. I just wish that more of Hollywood was like that, more genuine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
because he cared. He cared about the people that cared. That alone today is such a rarity, to care about the people that love the IP. You know, not just him playing the IP, but the IP itself.
yeah.
You know, he took honor and strength in the fact that he got to be Batman. He got to
Mhm.
voice Batman. He got to be the voice of Batman.
Yeah.
And all of us that loved that, he loved us just as much as we loved him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, could you imagine, you know, some Joe Blow off the street comes into an acting gig and said, "Here, we're gonna get you to be the voice of Batman." Oh, okay. You know, it was more than a paycheck to him. That's why he did it for so long, because he loved doing it. And he clearly understood the fan base that follows this character in the franchise. He understood what's at stake, and he understood how to put the effort in to make it come to life. And it just goes to show you that he appreciated the source material and he appreciated the fans who enjoyed it. And that just goes back and forth. He appreciated the fans and the fans appreciated him. And that was a never-ending cycle. And even though he's gone, that will continue forever and ever.
Project Cambrian said, I just had an image come to mind. The Hall of Odin, the great doors push open, and the hall grows silent. Lightning flashes Batman's dark silhouette. Gasp, the roaring cheers break out as Kevin walks into the halls of Valhalla. Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Project Cambrian, thank you. Dean Krantz says there are celebs that will be picky about who they interact with, but he seemed to return the love the fans gave the role he made his own. I think he was able to be Batman, and fans embraced him. Yes, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I mean, right there, you talk about maybe growing too old for something. No, because this guy did it day in and day out.
No, and I still watch animated series. It's one of the shows I'll watch if I'm trying to go to bed and I can't go to sleep. I'll throw Batman on. Why? Because it relaxes me.
Yeah,
just Batman
maybe
animated series.
Maybe it's just the voice of Kevin Conroy. You can probably just listen to him read a book.
Go to sleep, Loki. I am vengeance. I am the night. I am Batman.
I am Mr. Sandman. You know, he's pretty much the Bob Ross Batman. There's just something so real and soothing about him. He could be yelling at you and say that he's just gonna beat the ever-loving crap out of you. Be like, okay, Kevin, that's fine. Yeah. You've sedated me. Do what you will.
Yeah, Steven, I agree. He was Bruce Wayne and Batman's soul.
Yep. I love how he just, like I said already, he just understood Batman. You know, the one thing he pinpointed, which I would say to anybody, is Batman was not a superhero. He was a regular guy who needed to dress up to intimidate people. He was the brains of his own operation. Like Kevin just got it. That's what I appreciated so much about him. He put the work in. He took the effort to learn things and appreciate everything for what it was. He just got it.
Claude Parrish says, glad I have HBO Max. Lots of Kevin Conroy on that thing. Yes, absolutely. That's one of the last. That is the last streaming service I still pay for. So. That is the last one I probably will pay for a long time. No, I take it back. I'll take that back. I pay for a subscription of Crunchyroll for the kitty cat. So
Samurai Pizza Cats.
The Samurai Pizza Cat that wears a fez. the fez captain likes Crunchyroll. So I pay for a subscription of Crunchyroll for.
I don't know if chat remembers Samurai Pizza Cats or whatnot. There's a oddball thrown out there for you.
Mark Dampenley. I almost said Mark Hamill. Shit, that would have been crazy. Mark Dampenley Tired says he was the first person to portray Batman that wasn't campy. Don't get me wrong, Michael Keaton was great as Bats, but 89 was campy. What kind of a world do we live in where a man dressed up as a bat gets all of my free press? This town needs an enema. Yeah. And then go ahead.
There was some camp. And I think that relates to how Tim Burton visualized everything. But not as campy as what we got before that, and definitely not as campy as what came after that.
Okay, so Claude Parrish asked an interesting question. Here's the deal, Claude. Michael Rosenbaum, the young gentleman who plays, not that young anymore, who played Lex Luthor in Smallville, has a really weird story about this phone call he got where they were trying to sell him to come back as Lex Luthor. And they said, everybody's going to be there. Kevin Conroy, what's his name that played Clark in Smallville. All these people are going to be returning to their roles. It's going to be the biggest DC event ever. Do you want to be a part of it? He said, yeah, send me a script. Let me know. And they said, no, you got to agree right now over the phone. No script, no story details, no contract, which means no idea what you're going to get paid. And he said no. And from my understanding, Kevin just said yes. He had no idea what they were going to do with his character. Which is really sad that they made him. This is supposed to be the live action version of the animated Batman. And they ruined his character. They made him a sadistic, evil Batman. This is supposed to be the live action version of his Batman that turns around and kills Superman and becomes a villain. So
that makes sense.
I love that we got, like I said at the beginning of the stream, I love that we got him for all of 5 minutes as a live action Bruce Wayne. But I hate the fact that that they did him wrong and they did his character wrong. So it was basically the live action universe version. That's what they said. Now, whether that is a different universe than the animated series, it's supposed to be the live action version of his Bruce Wayne.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well, I mean,
they can go back and retcon and they can do whatever they want to. But when it was coming out, they did everything to make it sound like this was his Batman. This is what happened to his Batman. And that's horrible.
Yeah. I mean, in reality, what did you expect? I mean, if you attach his name to a project like that, you kind of have a good idea of what you think you should be able to expect in something like that.
In Shockwave, it was a 4-part crossover on the CW of The Flash, Green Arrow, Supergirl, and Legends that had Batwoman in it. And in that, they even said that of all the multiverse, she was the only true Batman. She, as in Batwoman, not Bruce Wayne, not yeah. So
CW
it was
bullshit.
just crap. It was crap, yeah. And CW can go to hell for how they treated him. But I do, Claude, I do like the fact that nobody can say all he did was the animation. He got to actually play Bruce Wayne live. So to me, that was, even if they completely tried to dismiss and shit on the character he portrayed, he at least got to do a live action version. He at least got to do a live action version and got to be Bruce Wayne. So
yeah,
he deserved it. He deserved
it. Yeah, he did. He definitely did.
There is something I want to bring up though before we get out of here that I want to talk about. because this is, to me, this was really important. You had Kevin doing the animated series, and then he did the Mask of the Phantasm. He did a couple of the movies, but then he shows up in a game called Arkham Asylum, and so does Mark Hamill. And suddenly, you've got the voice cast from the animated series in a video game. And then you've got them come back in Arkham City, and you're like, "Holy shit! This isn't just a one-off.
Yeah.
This is going to be something special."
Mhm.
You know, you can talk whatever you want about Arkham Knight. You can say whatever you want about that. It's one of the greatest gaming trilogies of all time. So it's not just this voice actor that did these cartoons. He carried that over, and he made those games special. Mark Hamill and him made those games special
Mhm.
because it was our Batman.
Yep. I I remember hearing about the studio working on a new Batman game. This was obviously, probably 2 or 3 years before it came out, but I'm thinking, "Oh god, I hope they do it right, because for once in our lifetime Batman deserves a great video game." And then you start hearing little bits of information get peppered in, every once in a while, and then all of a sudden, bam, Kevin Conroy's name is attached to this thing. Mark Hamill is attached to this thing. I'm thinking, ooh, something big could be happening here, And God,
Really quick, Dean, I think he was absolutely done wrong. I think he was absolutely done wrong by those fucks at CW. I'm just saying, at least he got to play a live action version for all of 5 minutes. I'm thankful for that.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Zero.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh no, it's all good. I was just basically gonna say, like anyone who hasn't played it, God, I'm jealous of you just getting the opportunity to go through that for the first time. Man, you won't be disappointed. And I'm sure Kevin was excited about that too, because he'd done the animated series for so long, and now he gets to go into this whole new industry of entertainment. And I'm sure he was one of the guys that was behind the scenes going, "Oh, what's that you're doing there? Oh, is that how he's going to look? Oh, that's awesome." I'm sure he loved every minute of it. Him and Mark, because they helped bring that game to life. And like I said earlier, it was just such a cool experience being able to be there with Batman and the enemies and the gadgets and everything. Investing your own time in it at your own pace gave it a much more personal connection.
And Bikini throws out a $20 super chat and says, Kevin is one of many voice actors who embraced his role long after and was so grateful and thankful for it. This man defined DC and WB for 30 years, just like Michael Jackson. There will never be another talent like him.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And thank you so much, McKinney, for that. Mexican Iron Man. This was like 20 minutes ago. Said, just
sorry,
thank you, Loki.
We've been sidetracked a little bit today, folks, but yeah.
Thank you both
Thank
so
you.
much. I know we kind of gotten run away. Michael Rosenbaum knew he was dealing with. Kevin was too nice. I agree.
Yeah.
Michael Rosenbaum knew. He knew he had had some problems with them. He dealt with the CW all the time, so he was part of the CW lineup. Hell, he apparently had like a contract dispute about his damn hair because they wanted him to shave his head when he came back in that last episode, and he said no. Absolutely not. I'll wear a bald cap. I had to shave my head for 7 seasons. I'm not doing it again. I don't know why. There's nothing wrong with shaving your head.
I don't know. Haven't been there yet.
I know they have to meticulously. I mean, it's like by the end of the day, your hair's already grown out. You're like, fuck.
Yeah.
Pizza Buzz again. and yeah,
It's like, oh, we need to shoot this scene again. I know, but my cap's already got
All
5
right.
o'clock shadow. It's
You
okay. I'll
you
go bick it
spend
again.
Anywhere from 20 minutes to an hour sitting in a chair getting your head shaved bald for a couple of scenes, and then you got to get it shaved. You got to get it shaved again because you've got hair growing out already. So it's a pain in the ass. But he had a big dispute with them over that. So yeah, I agree. He knew who he was dealing with. And, Kevin was too nice.
Yep.
Logie, many people have portrayed famous characters in film. Few could capture the essence and the soul of that character with their voice alone the way Kevin has. I absolutely agree. No, I absolutely agree, Chris.
Yep.
Project Cambrian says you got to bick it. Bick it good. I agree.
Just don't cut yourself. You have to put little pieces of tissue all over your scalp while it heals.
I will always consider it a blessing that we got him as Batman.
Yep.
I'm so happy that he got into acting. He did a lot of stage work, which a lot of people now they're like, oh my God, how, passe. It's like so old school to like do a play. He loved stage work. He absolutely loved stage work. I'm sure there's a clip of Kevin out there floating around somewhere with him holding up his skull saying, I knew him. He bore me on his back 1,000 times.
I got a lot of respect for stage actors, because they, in my eyes anyway, like I'm not a theatrical major or anything, but in my eyes, they have a tougher job because you don't get retakes on stage. You have rehearsals and things like that. But when it comes time to hit the stage and perform for a crowd, you get basically one take to do the whole thing. And damn you if you screw up. It takes a certain kind of actor and person to have the willpower and the talent alone to do that.
And Mansquatch makes a really good point. The praise we heap upon him now is the same that we said when he was alive. We aren't coloring it. We aren't propping him up because he passed. We're saying the exact same thing we always have.
Yeah. And
because we honor him.
Yeah, and we'll continue to say the same thing over and over again.
Claude Paris says, Batman, the audio adventures missed the boat without Kevin as Batman. I agree.
Yeah.
And, I wish we got him more. I wish we got more of him. I wish he was Batman in all the animated movies. I wish that, every time I heard about an animated movie coming out, was Kevin in it and Mark? Kevin and Mark in it? Is he going to have Kevin and Mark? Because that's what I want to know. It's the first question on my mind. When I found out about Batman Ninja, I was like, it doesn't have Kevin and Mark in it? Well, I don't know. I'll give it a shot. And I found it goofy enough that I was like, okay, I'll buy it just because. But I've got every animated movie he ever did on Blu-ray, and then I have like a Batman set that has all the Batman animated movies. So it's weird to have like a anniversary set. Mexican Iron Man actually sent me that, so I think he sent me that for Christmas or my birthday. The first year we were hanging out and running around and blowing shit up, he was like, "Oh my God, I just found out they had this Batman anniversary thing. I'm sending you one." And I was like, "Okay,
all right."
he knows I love Conroy as Batman. So, Public Enemies, yes, God, that's my favorite. That is my favorite. That is my favorite of the movies. I know people love Doom and there's a couple other ones, but God, I love Public Enemies because it shows how they work together so perfectly. Yeah, picked up solely for Kevin Conroy and Tim Daly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So. Dean Krantz, the Batman Ninja, put me to sleep. It was either boring or bad. It wasn't boring. It was just odd. It's an odd Batman movie that does some really odd things and has some really odd choices. But I love it when you like meet a character for the first time that's different, and they do this like little intro. It only lasts like 10 seconds, but they do it for every villain that shows how they're different in this universe, how they're different.
Yeah.
So there are things about it I like, and then you get to the point where you've got a giant Joker mech versus a giant monkey Batman
Oh my god.
kaiju, and you're like, yeah, they shit the bed. They shit all over the bed. They pulled an Amber Turd and they shit all over the bed.
Oh my god, it's Mighty Morphin Batman Rangers all over again.
So all the villains have like a city, their own city. So you've got like Penguin and Joker, and like Voltron, their cities combine to make this giant like mech, Joker mech. And it's like a Voltron, a Batman villain, a Rogues Gallery Voltron.
Jeez.
And to fight that Rogues Gallery Voltron, the Robin of that, not Dick Grayson, but the other one, summons these monkeys that combine and become like a giant bat monkey. Anyway,
I was gonna mention that I still haven't seen the Batman and Turtles crossover.
Yeah, Badass says I like when Batman fought with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles with Man Bat.
You can't leave, not until you've had some pizza.
Yeah.
Tim Drake, yeah, that's the one.
It's and I agree with Steven, it's bad, but to me, it's like, okay, this is the bad Batman animated movie that I like watching. So, and even the way I said Batman Ninja, because if you watch the opening of so there's two versions. I don't like the American version. I don't like the way Joker sounds, because Joker is like, I'm here, I am, and you're like, what in the hell?
Oh, hello, yeah.
Oh, hello, it's a Joker, Batman, and you're like, what the fuck is this? When you hear him in Japanese, he's like, Nokoshi Noko, Daiko da Batman. And you're like, damn, that Joker's like badass.
Yeah. Someone shine the bat signal on chat. There's some shit going down.
You gotta, yeah, they got deleted. Bots don't last long here.
See you later, bitch.
See you later, bots. But you gotta watch the Japanese version and with subtitles. That's just the way. It's one of those movies where you gotta watch it subbed. Don't watch it dubbed. Watch it subbed. It's much better.
I thoroughly enjoy reading books on television.
Yeah, working too hard to sell the movie. I'm sure I am, but it's because it's one of those ones that I don't mind every once in a while. It's so bad, it's kind of good. But like I said, it's got to be the Japanese version, not the American. Subbed, not dubbed. Anyway, guys, we're past the hour. We're gonna get out of here. Yeah. Thank you all so very much. Thank you for being here. He was our Batman.
Yep.
These streams are kind of hard to do, and I hate losing people. I absolutely hate losing people, and I hate losing people that were so great people. It's not just about the work; it's about who they were. So someone said earlier, oh, it wasn't just a cash grab for him to make that. That money went straight to his charity. It's not like he needed the $200 to put in his pocket or go buy beer or anything like that.
Yeah.
You know, that was for charity. It was for they went straight to his charity. So I want to thank him again. You were our Batman. Thank you, my friend. Thank you, brother, for being our Batman. And we'll be back tomorrow. Mexican Iron Man and I are going to talk about the God of War, Ragnarok. They have a discussion about Ragnarok tomorrow. I'm playing the shit out of that. So it's been great. Thank you, Zero, for being here today, brother.
Anytime. I'd like
Doing
to,
this with me.
yeah, I'd like to personally thank Chat for hanging out with us and celebrating everything that Kevin Conroy was and everything he gave us. You know, I wasn't trying to make everything we said sound like an impromptu eulogy, you know, because I really couldn't do that for a guy like Kevin on the spot. I'd need time to write a novel because that's how much it would take to describe the kind of guy that Kevin was. I just want to say, you know, although we'll never get to see more from him, we'll just cherish everything he's already gave us because that is enough for me to last a lifetime. So thank you all for being here and continue to celebrate everything you have.
And Dean Krantz says, I will make fun of you next Monday, Zero.
Why? What's next Monday besides just another Monday? I will find you. Well, stay tuned. We'll all find out at the same time. But thank you, everybody. Thank you, Loki.
Thank you. Guys, take care. Be excellent to each other. Always speak, friend, enter. Oh my, we got a $2 super chat before we get out of here. From Shellback, TJC. Says, play us out on a happy note. Metrosexual Iron Man. I can do Fanta. How about that? We'll do a Fanta.
For our Batman.
For everyone in here today, here's a Fanta from Mexican Iron Man. Skol! Wanna Fanta, don't you wanna Fanta? Mexican Iron Man wants a Fanta, Fanta. Wanna Fanta, don't you wanna Fanta? Mexican Iron Man wants his Fanta, 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 ah! Fanta, Fanta, ah! All right, we're out of here. Take care, everybody. Have a great one. Be excellent to each other. Always speak, friend, enter. We'll see you guys next Monday.
These videos are tremendous. Like, comment, and subscribe, and hammer that notification bell.